All right, hey, what's up, guys? It is November 2019 monthly overview video. November is an interesting month for us programming-wise because we had finished up a testing cycle just before the Open kicked off. And that worked out really well. And then we had our training through the Open, which was a really good balance of everything we wanted. Some absolute strength work, some strength endurance work, some structural work, functional bodybuilding work. I feel like it was really balanced and hopefully fun managing the intensities and output we want during the big time of, knowing everyone's going to throw it out on Friday, right? Not been coming in and busting them on Monday too much and maybe enough, right? Always a balance to that. For November, here in the overview, you'll see we had the last week of October is already up there for you just so you can kind of see where things have been going. The first week is the final week of the Open. So I kind of wrote, I write notes for myself of what I'm thinking here. This is a fun training week, meaning it's the last week. Most people are happy to be done with it. So we're not trying to make, say, specific progress like, we have to do handstand push-ups on Monday because we got to be ready for them by Friday. By this deep in, those adaptations are either happened or they're not. So why not just have good training? Not going to really be able to add a lot for Friday. We can add a lot for long-term building, but we're always building long-term. So we want to keep building long-term stuff. So you'll see that throughout that week and we'll break it down. Then we have a deload and reload week, which for gyms work a little different than individual. Individual might be total big drop in reduction. So the gym, people, if they really need a rest, they may just come and stretch. If they're in, we're going to leave it up to the coaches to help kind of modulate some of it, how to push people, because you're there cracking the whip or telling them to, hey, focus on this. You will see a lot of unilateral work, strict work, slow contraction work this week happening. And then the second part that's kind of odd is we have a week of training, and then it's Thanksgiving week, right, which is a short week, and a lot of people are off or gone there for you. So that's why I didn't want to do a testing week right after the Open, because it's like we finished the testing, now it's Opens or tests and tests. And look, I love data as much as anyone, but there's also the qualitative part of fitness of people are having a good time. We're balancing them out really internally and externally for, not to be too much of a big hippie about it, but there's a big part of that that's true. So we're trying to make sure we're balancing that out with the data, and we don't need to always be like, you're up one data point of this. Like, we're people, we're members, we have a lot going on in our lives. So we want to be cognizant of that as well. So with all that said, let's kick off November here. And what you're going to see is we ran the days here on a Monday, Tuesday, Monday here, and then Tuesday split. So what you'll see is we had, what did we have here? We had some back squats on this Tuesday, the last one of October. Then we had some squatting and some overhead work, especially right there. And then we had this coming week, right here, sets of 2 to 3 back squats. So a tough double or triple somewhere in there, not meant to crush out their CNS, and some overhead squat for endurance work, right, with some strict pull-ups, right? Done a lot of kipping, dynamic contractions, so slower contractions. Next week, now we're doing overhead squat with a close grip overhead squat. So they can go heavy, but how heavy can you really go on overhead squats with an isometric hold over here, right? Next week, you see we're going to do snatch balance, a pause overhead squat complex into Jackie. So you see the way the rowing pieces here that we kind of progress down into Jackie with now kipping pull-ups. And then after that, we go to either Elizabeth or our overhead squat tester, or here Elizabeth or Amanda, right, where we have our ring muscle ups and snatch, which fits together. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one you'll see here is hinging and upper body pushing. We had our dip 1 rep max. Here we had single leg deadlift and our tall kneeling landmine press. So we're going to go through a landmine progression and a rotational power progression this month. Right? They're not the main drivers. It's not landmine month or rotational power month. Still main drivers are heavy pulls, heavy squats, heavy press, right? And good conditioning. But in that, the kind of support pieces there you'll see are tall kneeling landmine. That means both knees are down, but you're sitting up as high as you can on your knees, right? If you don't have a landmine, just a single arm press will do, but landmine's pretty easy to rig. Just put it against the wall or have someone hold the base. You can press them forward. Good for scapular strength as well as shoulder strength. From here, right, we had single leg deadlift, set 8 to 10, so low load, high skill, high time under tension. Right now, split stance RDL, 5 to 6 reps. You can go a little heavier there each leg. right, with a seesaw dumbbell bench press. We supersetted that where it was the next landmine. We had landmine on Wednesday now over there. And then you'll see over here we had sumo deads for 3, so I went 8 on a single leg, 5 to 6 on a staggered, 3 on a wide for a heavy pull. Here with a 3-rep ring dip after our high-rep dumbbell bench press. And then finally, it's going to be that heavy single snatch grip deadlift with Amanda or Elizabeth, right? I didn't want to go sumo deadlift there because it's a heavy, heavy pull with a benchmark, and that kind of may not fit so well. So I did the heavy pull this week, and then this is a positional pull that you combine snatch grip deadlift and overhead squat. What do you got? Hopefully, if you can move athletically, a good snatch. And then we had the ring dips, right? We had the dip here, the high rep deal here, man makers, a bunch of push-ups we've been adding in. So again, slow contractions there that go up to Elizabeth. So you can see where those couple pieces fit together. Let's go to Wednesday, Thursday, right? Same idea. You're going to see these couple pieces are going to fit together here. And it's going to be, here we have bench press on this day. That's kind of the in the open deal with the tall kneeling med ball throw, right? From there, we're going to go to half kneeling rotational med ball throw with a partner. Over here, we go fast med ball throw from feet side to side really rapidly with some landmine press, seesaw row, same thing, lateral lunge. So there's a lot of unilateral work. For load, though, we're in that 5-rep range where you can go pretty heavy. Again, a dumbbell, a barbell, 5 reps is 5 reps. You got to go heavy. So that's the idea. They're into, say, the lateral lunge and the Curtis P's, into a Zercher lunge there. And then it's Thanksgiving. We had the reverse lunges in here in the workout. So again, hopefully you see where we're going with that, adding the rotational power with the vertical landmine pressing in there, a bunch of carries in here. So it's slow, focusing on breathing, but they're not intentionally slow. Like farmer's walks aren't, you can go fast, but it's just how fast can you go on them. So they're intentionally dampened movements. From there, Fridays, we are back squatting heavy. We have one of my favorites, Tower of Power back squats. First week, fight gone bad into some back squat strength endurance on the second week. After there, and then do a back squat, a tough set of 10 after Thanksgiving. So I figure people are going to eat a lot of food. Let's put it to use and lift some heavy weight with good strength endurance and hypertrophy work there. Final thing on the weekends, we have some different partner workouts, obviously. Here, they're a waterfall workout, a higher rep, low load workout. Same idea. One where it's strength, it's a build up that bench press to a floor press, calorie row, strict pull-ups. We've been doing a bunch all month, a lot of strict pull-ups, and then a benchmark hero workout, Chris Kyle at the end, right? So you'll see those. So again, so you see the floor press building up to that single arm, the last part I didn't get to, the dumbbell bent over row, our push-pull test, and standing strict press each arm. So you get to see some progress there. That's the overview of the month. From here, we get into December, where we'll do some absolute strength work to kick it off. And then we've kind of rebalanced everything from all the testing training, good body composition focus, good new movement acquisition from the single arm pressing, strict pull-ups, horizontal pulls, lateral lunge, Zercher lunge, rotational med ball throws. So some new movement stuff, but not just new movement for fun's sake. It's not like, oh, let's do something you saw at Barry's boot camp. These pieces all were fitting together to where we go into absolute strength and into our retesting annual cycle towards the end of the year, right before the holiday break, and our kind of skeleton schedule comes up, where hopefully most of you are off a little bit, getting to recharge for the start of the year. Second thing I really love about this for the start of the year, since we don't have the open in February right now, which I think is actually really great. It sucked having to go through the second open in 1 year, but this is a great time for it, right? Just as far as the annual macro cycle, it's really good. Because now we start off the year, we can just start off. We're not trying to go, hey, you're in, quick, here, cycle this barbell fast. We have a lot of absolute strength work, a lot of skill work, a lot of good development pieces that we'll get to build on for everyone. So I'm excited about that. Hope you are too. And that is November 2019.